Overprepared Redditors, which thing do you always carry with you no matter how much people ridicule you for it? I always have a band-aid in my wallet. Through the years it's saved the moment about a half dozen times. Usually for somebody else, not me. In my case it's almost always for myself. I tend to trip and get hurt a lot. Not so much now that I have a car with a heater, but as a teenager on a bicycle, I kept a down jacket and a stuffed sack. If I was out and it got cold, I'd put on the jacket. Tough guys would ask me, "Are you cold?" I'd tell them, "Why would I be cold? I'm wearing a down jacket." That is the best response. A little pair of foldable ballet flats. Came in their own bag and everything. People look at me so strange when I pull them out of my bag, but joke's on them when they're the ones trudging up a hill in heels after a night out. In my younger, clubbier days I used to bring flip-flops in my clutch. I bet it saved me money because I walked home instead of taking a cab. I used to carry a spare EpiPen on me. For my brother, even after he moved out, I was briefly ridiculed because I carried it in my knife roll for school, but I didn't expect people who don't have life-threatening allergies to understand the severity of it. Thankfully we never had to use it. A stapler. In high school, people made fun of me for carrying it around in my backpack, but they treated me like their lord and savior whenever they forgot to staple their essays, which happened pretty often. The last few years I have taken a sheepskin cooler bag that I put water, ice packs and other drinks in, to work and pretty much anywhere I drive. It has a little pocket in the front and I have band-aids, paracetamol, Zantac, lighters, cigarettes, spare change and chewing gum. I get paid out daily at work and with friends for having a man bag. I'm a man, but it is so handy I don't care anymore. Heck, add some prophylactics and sounds like you could have a pretty good weekend in Vegas. An umbrella. Only the non-native Brits question it though, which is weird because being in England for more than a week should be enough explanation. Or we've had sunshine for at least a week in a row by now. Swiss Army knife. It came really handy last year when there was an earthquake and I had to help package food aid. I also fixed a drawer that had been broken for a year in the coffee shop I used to work at and my coworkers were really impressed. It also impresses people cause I'm a girl and people aren't used to girls carrying Swiss Army knives on them. Also, safety pins for any clothing related emergency. I needed them once when one of my shirt buttons came off and now I always have some with me. Academic here. Always carry a bag with whiteboard markers, VGA adapter for Mac and a clicker. Never know when someone needs to present. A second tote bag to carry all of the things I actually need, because my handbag is filled with things I might need, just in case. I always have my passport in my purse with me. My friends say that's not safe. I could lose it. Why carry it when I don't need it? My response is that I never know when I'll need to flee the country. Real reason I used to keep it in a safe place at home. Then when I went on a trip I forgot where that safe place was. Tore the house apart. I ended up paying hundreds of dollars for an expedited passport that I had to pick up in LA while on a layover for my international flight segment. I bring aloe vera gel, anti-itch cream, 2 chapsticks, antibiotic cream, and bandages in my purse. And I don't have kids. I keep Neosporin and itch cream as well. I used to live in the south where bug bites were just a fact of life. I will scratch all of my skin off trying to find relief from mosquito bites. Itch cream and Neosporin is a lifesaver. I recently went back to the south for a weekend and within 20 minutes of arriving I had 7 mosquito bites already. In New England I've gotten 2 this whole year. Honey, seriously, some restaurants, I'm looking at you, KFC, have packets of honey sauce which is not honey, it is high fructose corn syrup with food coloring. For the love of God. I bought one of those pocket breathalyzers when I turned 21 and have been carrying it in my purse with me since. I thought it would be a good way to convince my friends not to drive if we thought it was unsafe. Turns out, we have mostly used it to see who had the highest back as a game when we're out drinking. None of my friends ever try to drive since we can just Uber Lyft instead. Still carry it though. A tampon or 2 in my backpack. I'm a dude. Why? First, Lifesaver for my girlfriend or other female friends who get a surprise visit from Period Fairy. Second, the bastards are, believe it or not, amazing at soaking up blood. Who would have thought? Right. If I get cut or a nosebleed I can just use it up to soak up the bleeding. The foundation of human technology is the ability to cut, burn, and bind. I carry a knife, a lighter and a length of cord. You can improvise dang near anything with those three. Baby wipes, peppermint oil, clove oil, nail clippers, varying medicines, and when I'm smoking a packed one hitter, and a pair of socks. Where do you get your clove oil? I have been looking for years and I cannot find any that is safe if ingested. I used to carry spare socks with me all the time. I don't like throwing shoes out, so I thought changing my socks would help. Plus you never know when you're going to step in a puddle. Unwatched P folder. I always use the internet for my NSW needs, but I am prepared for the day when the urge to fap strikes and there is no internet available. I always keep a pen and a small notepad in the glove box of my car. I feel I need it just in case I need to write down registration plate details or anything important if I get involved in an accident or witness a crime. People may think it's strange, but I honestly don't give a frick. It helped me a lot once after my neighbor spotted kids trying to break into my car. I could easily write down what she saw instantly and give her my number and give details to police. Every day, for 8 years, I have brought pepper spray into this office to protect myself and my fellow employees. And every day, for 8 years, people have laughed at me. Well, who's laughing now? Tourniquet. 60% of preventable trauma deaths are from exsanguination. Gun plus 2 mags. Magazines are the main failure point of semi-autos and you can never have too much ammo. Flashlight. Crap gets dark. CPR face mask thing. People are frickin' nasty. Knife with a seatbelt cutter. Opening boxes. My umbrella. In 2009 I was caught in what is an Ohio equivalent of a monsoon while walking the mile to class at Bowling Green, which is also basically a wind tunnel. I had to building hop the entire way. I had a huge crush on my lab partner, so when I walked in looking like a drowned rat, that basically sealed the I'm unattractive deal and I've never left home again without my umbrella. P.S. I was also wearing jeans and the class was 3 hours long. I was still wet when I left class. The real Bowling Green massacre. An iPhone charger. I have a Samsung, but there is nothing more wonderful than the smile on someone's face after asking around for a charger, only to have their phone's life revived by a lowly Samsung user. Allergy meds and Kleenex. Whenever any of my friends sneeze they just look at me, and I silently pull out my pack of Kleenex. The greatest friend. My uncle. You got your gun on you, don't you? Me. Yeah, uncle. Laughing hysterically. Boy. Salem witch burial don't go nowhere without that pistol mayo. Being black and living in the south where the KKK occasionally marches around and living around people who think to approach me in a hostile manner over the color I'm wearing just because it's a color used by gang members despite never being in a gang in my entire life. I carry every day I go out depending on where I'm going. Baby wipes, Q-tips, Benadryl. I have a weird type of swelling hives called angioneurotic edema, and emergency aspirin in case I or someone else needs it for heart attack stroke. I carry around Advil for pain and I don't mind sharing it if someone needs it. Small medical kit, set of hand tools, overnight bag. I usually just leave it in the car so no ridicule. If I am riding with someone else I will move the bag to their trunk. Ziploc bags, you never know. And I always get mocked, but when I'm out and someone is eating a bagel but can't finish it, boom, I pull out a baggie. I keep them in my purse and in my glove box, and I've had so many times where they have come in handy. An organized diary. I've been referred to by colleagues as anal retentive about my record keeping. The same colleagues then come to me just about every month to check future meeting dates, teleconference sign-in codes, etc. because they can't remember where they filed that email they received 2000 emails ago with the details in it. I've recently started keeping things in my car that I know I'm going to need eventually. I got 20-foot jumper cables and a little basic first aid kit. Don't come to me with a gunshot wound. I have neither a tourniquet or a chest compression pad. I'm slowly working on getting some other things. Eventually I want to get a rifle to keep in my car. A man can dream. Hard to say what's the most ridiculous because I don't advertise how much stuff I carry. Right now I've got in my backpack a compass, grid protractor, topographic map of the area, 10 meters of tubular webbing, 10 meters of static utility line, non-stretchy paracord, 30 meters of paracord, a Zippo, a can of Zippo fuel, a dribble containing the Zippo, a change of socks, and some basic meds, a phone charger, a set of lockpicks, a water filtration system, a thinsulate ski mask, a pair of work gloves, headlamp, backup batteries for headlamp and flashlight, which is in my pocket, Himahaj kit, emergency blanket, Bic lighter, pen, and notebook, and nothing except the notebook is in the main compartment, so I still get to use it as a backpack for the things I need from day to day. Remind me to have you as my buddy during the zombie apocalypse. A small pocket knife. I work in an office and still find myself using it all the time, wedging open a bottle cap, or using the point as a screwdriver for glasses with loose bands. As someone who's pretty libertarian in their beliefs, it's also great for airports. Win-win. If the Tsar takes my tiny pocket knife away, it's validation that we're living in a police state with radically overbroad powers for the Gestapo. If they miss it, it's validation that security theater is bulls. A gun. I always get the "why'd you bring that?" right up until the area we're in looks sketchy, then it's "you brought your gun, right?" Earplugs. I've been playing drums for 25 years, have seen thousands of bands, and have family history of bad tinnitus. Sometimes things just get loud where you normally wouldn't expect. I carry a small pen light in my sleep shorts. Wife makes fun of me but I use it often. I used it a lot when my kid was an infant and would wake up in the middle of the night with a dirty diaper. Not turning on the lights left her in a more agreeable mood and I would just change and swaddle and boom she would be right back to sleep. Now I just do it out of habit. I also carry small notepad, mini Sharpie, a pen I cut down, chapstick, a buff scarf, and a Leatherman Skeletal. Also a pocket gun and spare mag. My vehicle is a whole other story. I have pads and tampons in my bathrooms, in my car and truck, and in my hiking gear. I've never used one, since I have a penis, but it's surprising how often they get used by others. My friend used to give me crap for carrying around a backpack with tons of stuff in it, instead of a small clutch or handbag like she would carry. Sucked for her when she needed lip balm, lotion, hand sanitizer, or a hair comb, and I decided to leave my bag at home. Who's laughing now when we go to a movie and I have secret compartments for Sour Patch Kids and Skittles, when you have to spend $4.50 on candy? Who's laughing when your nose starts bleeding in the cold winter air and I've got a pack of tissues? And who are you turning to when we go for a hike and you want to bring 4 bottles of water and granola bars? And what about when we want to go to the amusement park and you don't want to buy a locker for your sunscreen? Or when you want to go hang out with your Starbucks barista friend and browse the internet on our laptops while we enjoy free drinks? Ooh. Backpacks are hella convenient and they can still be super cute. Of course now they're becoming fairly mainstream, but they totally weren't when Brooke was harassing me about bringing one along for a few weeks. Several years later and I'm a mom of 2, plus 1 due in December, and backpacks are life. I've got diapers, wipes, toys, snacks, sunscreen, clean clothes, a swaddle blanket, lotion, somewhere to put my wallet and keys, pockets for water bottles, and room to spare. Backpack for life, I'm sure. Ever since I got my first car I've been carrying duct tape in the glove box. I get so many weird looks, jokes, and questions, but the amount of times keeping heavy duty tape around has come in handy as nuts. Most people make fun of me, but then realize how life-saving it was. You can fix anything with enough duct tape and creativity. An umbrella. This normally wouldn't be much of an issue, but I can't stand those collapsible umbrellas. They break so easily. That means I end up walking around with a long, wooden hook handle style umbrella resting on my shoulder. I get heckled a lot whenever I walk past an outside bar on a beautiful day. On the plus side, I feel like I will have the upper hand in any fight I get in. Just stab them in the gut, lol. I'm basically the Penguin from Batman. I always carry a 32-ounce metal canteen bottle with ice and water. Always. Even in winter. I get thirsty randomly, so ice cold water is always an arm's length away from me. True story. My cousin told me she can recognize me from far away around town cause I will always carry the bottle with me everywhere I go. She told her sister-in-law this, who I also know, and her sister-in-law saw me at a shopping center from far away a few months ago, but couldn't tell if it was me or not, until she saw the water bottle I was carrying. She yells out my name and I turn around. She then busts out laughing and tells me the water bottle story and how she knew it had to be me. It's not really carrying, but I almost always wear a jacket, even in the summer, because it's practical for carrying other everyday stuff, and people laugh and throw pine cones at me in the streets. Not something I carry all the time, but when I go to music festivals and the campsite is likely to be busy, I like to measure the dimensions of my tent and bring a tape measure and measure any potential plots to make sure the tent can fit, instead of unpacking and laying out the ground sheet only to find I don't have enough space. I usually bring a big tent. My mates said it's daft and very square of me to do so, but I think it's quite clever. I always carry an ink pen, a Leatherman, a pen light, and a gun. My cell phone and wallet too, of course. I can't carry all those things in all places. Some places don't allow guns or knives, but I always carry an ink pen, always, clipped in my right pocket. I feel naked without it. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.